Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. And today I just got a small message that I would like to share. If you are going through a time of test, challenge, or a season, I hope this message will give you encouragement. So let's start. Okay, uh, I'll just start. I'll be honest. I never read the book of Malachi. I always ask God. I used to ask God, like, Book of Malachi, what is in it? It's a small book, and I never read it. I started reading it last week only, and God spoke to me a lot through it, right? So the Book of Malachi was written to people who had grown careless in their worship, discouraged in their faith, and doubtful of God's justice. And into this setting, Malachi gives a powerful picture of God dealing with His people. And in that Malachi it says like God is like a refiner of silver. Have you? This verse holds a truth that God does not abandon us in our imperfection. Instead, He lovingly refines us, shaping us into vessels that reflect His glory. Have you ever seen silver in its raw form or in its pure form? If you haven't, you can see in Google or you can visit the chemistry lab also. So, silver in its raw form, it is filled with lots of impurities. Okay, and the refining process of silver requires lots of fire, okay, to refine it. So if it's left unrefined, it cannot shine, first of all, nor it can serve its true purpose. The true purpose of silver, it used to make rings, jewelries, everything, right? So if it doesn't shine, people will also not buy it, right? So in the same way, our heart also carries impurities sometimes, like sin, pride, fear, bitterness, selfishness, jealousy, right? And God is always good. We all know that He's good all the time. He's a good Father. So God in His love sometimes allows us to go through these fires of trials, test and challenge, not because our God is not good. No, He's good. There's always a reason behind it, right? So God in His love sometimes allows us to go through the fire of trials, tests and challenges, and these fires are not meant to destroy us, but to burn away everything that keeps us from reflecting Christ. In James 1, I remember it says like, consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance, right? So God doesn't let your pain go in waste. He doesn't let your difficult season go in waste. He uses it to purify His people. Have you ever heard this song like, I wanna be tried by fire, purified? So basically it's a song by Maverick City. They're asking for a refiner's fire. So that's the fire that the song talks about. So if you the silver, it's normally it's always purified by a silversmith. Okay, so a silversmith uses fire to purify the silver. A silversmith never throw the silver in the fire and walk away, but what he does is he sits there and carefully watches it. It keeps on controlling the temperature. If you give too little heat, the impurities will remain, and if you give too much of heat, the silver will be ruined, it will be destroyed. So Malachi says like God will sit as a refiner. That means God is personally present in our refining process. He is personally present. He's present there. In book of Psalms it says like the God is closest to the broken-hearted ones, right? So that means God is personally present in our difficult times. He does not leave us in the fire alone. If you remember in the Babylon. If you remember the Babylon, in Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, in the book of Daniel, it's written like in the fiery furnace of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they discovered a fourth man walking with them. So who is this fourth man? Isn't it God that's walking with them? That fire didn't burn them. So God promised, like also in Isaiah, I remember it, like God promises, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. In Isaiah 43 it says. So like, to all the believers and child of God, you may feel the heat of fire, but you are not abandoned. The refiner, Jesus himself, is seated, watching and protecting and shaping you. Right? But what is the goal of a refiner? What is the goal of a refiner? How does the silversmith know that the silver is ready? Right? So I was studying in Wikipedia. I was looking in ChatGPT, like, how does the silversmith know, like, when the silver is ready? And the answer was like, they know the silver is ready when they can see their own reflections in it. So in the same way, God's ultimate goal in our refining, that when people look at us, they no longer see us, but they see Christ. Right? They see Christ shining through us. And if you remember in 2 Corinthians, Paul said, like, we all are being transformed into his image with ever increasing glory. Also in Matthew 5 it says, like, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good work and glorify your Father in heaven. So sometimes when you're walking in the street, or you're in college or university, even I'm in university, studying in university, right? So when people see you, when people see me, they should see Christ, but not us. They should come and ask you, why are you like this? Why you are so different? Right? And when they ask you, there's the only chance you can glorify God. You can tell him, that's not me. That's the God inside me. You are seeing the God inside me. And that's Jesus. Right? So, I was studying a story. Like, once a woman visits a silversmith, okay, to watch the refining process. And she saw him holding the silver in the fire, and he never took his eyes off it. And she asked, like, how do you know when it's ready? He replied, when I can see my face in it. To all the believers, in the same way, all the believers and child of God, right? This is what God desires for each of us, that his image may be seen in our character, in our words, in our love, and in our action, right? So even if you are going through fire or difficult season, do not despise the fire. Embrace it as God's tool of transformation. Amen. And like, trust the refiner. You need to trust God. He is the refiner. And trust the refiner because he knows the exact temperature you can endure. See, our God never embarrasses us. He knows how much we can deal. He knows what's our extent. He knows what's our limit. So he'll never embarrass us. He will always know the exact temperature we can endure. Right? So let the fire purify us, not harden us. And also, like, let's remember that the outcome is greater, it's the best, is greater than the pain. Right? So Malachi 3:3 reminds us that God is not absent in our struggle. He is the refiner. He is seated, intentional, and loving. The fire will never last forever, but what it produces will give you strength and Christ-likeness. Right? So if you feel like, if you're in fire today, if you're having a difficult season, just lift your head up high and just look to the heaven, and worship him. If you're in fire today, just look above and just worship him. When you're walking in the fire, the best thing you can do is worship. Lift your head up high, lift your hands up high, and just worship him. Because refiner is working, and when he is finished, our life will reflect the beauty of Jesus Christ, right? So let us all remind ourselves that in the hard time, in the most difficult time of our life, not to run away, but to worship even in the most hardest moment of our life, right? So I hope this message will encourage you. I hope this message will, in the same way that God teach me something through Malachi 3:3, I hope he will also teach you something through Malachi 3:3. And in the same way, I'll keep coming back with word that God gave me. I'll come and share with you guys, because I love talking about Christ, and I love Jesus, I love God, and I love talking about him. That's why. So whenever he gives me a word, I'll come back. And also, just a reminder, this Thursday, a new video will be coming with one of my friend called Joseph Gwala. He's a doctor, and we'll be talking in a topic called faith, healing, and medicine. Since he is a doctor, so we'll be talking Bible stuff related to the medicine, right? So get ready to watch that video. I know that video is going to bless you, all of you, right? Even the people working in the medical background, I know that video is going to bless you. So thank you for watching this video. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, I guess. Yeah, so I don't know, by the time I post this video, I don't know what time it will be. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing, sharing this video, and when God gives me a new word, I'll come back and share with you guys, right? So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.